over 100 pounds with almost minimal loose skin, even in areas that I didn't like the most, like my hip dips. If you guys don't know what hip dips are, they are the annoying indentation that you have in your hip area. You're trying to build muscle, you're trying to get a more curvier body, and it's almost impossible with the indentation on the side. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how exactly I got rid of my own hip dips and transformed my body, what I ate to do it, and my exact exercise routine, and how to avoid loose skin almost completely. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Here we are again today with another video. If you don't know who I am by now, I basically lost over 130 pounds by doing keto, intermittent fasting, and exercise in a fasted state. I lost 100 pounds in 4 months at the age of 19, and then when I was 20 years old, I transitioned into being a vegan where I lost an additional 30 pounds. I get a lot of claims about how my weight loss is fake or how I Photoshop my photos. I actually don't. I was able to transform my body naturally without the help of surgery, without the help of any type of cosmetic procedure, just by myself along with my exercise routine and what I was eating and fasting. One product that is super helpful within my journey is the Superfood Green Blend by Teami. This specific blend is made from plant-based superfoods. I am just putting some hot water into my own Teami cup. I love it. It's cute and it's pink. The whole entire mixture is made with matcha, spirulina, and wheatgrass. It has 16 superfood ingredients, 100% plant-based, vegan. It's dairy-free and it's soy-free. I just put about 1 to 2 tablespoons in my cup of hot water. What I love about the cup is that it's insulating. Also, you can just take it anywhere you want to. It's not going to spill and it's going to contain the heat or the temperature inside. I have a coupon code listed down below and on the screen if you guys are interested in purchasing these products. If you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me and make sure you turn on your post notifications so you can know how to avoid loose skin next time. So a big reason as to why I don't have loose skin after weight loss is because of, yes, my age and my genetic makeup. I am 5'8", 150 pounds, and I lost my weight when I was around 19, 18 years old. So of course I do have a little bit of an upper advantage, but regardless, my natural body type is heavier and I was not really curvier when I was heavier. I went from having a straight shape. That is also what contributed to my minimal loose skin. Just because of my shape and of my height, I was able to have less skin than most people, and I was able to get the body that I want without supplements, without having to do anything. Only approaches that I took in regards to my weight loss were natural approaches. So the first thing that you can do to get rid of your hip dips or the indentation in your side area, some people genetically have more fat in this area and have wider hips, and some people don't. I just want to state that that is perfectly okay. There is nothing wrong with that just because naturally we have that indentation. Just some people have different genetic makeups, which is why they are rounder in this area. But I naturally did not have that genetic makeup. So the first thing that I did to get rid of my hip dips, my diet. So when I was losing weight, I went on the keto diet, and when I went on the keto diet, I did lose 100 pounds in only 4 months. When I was on the keto diet, I only lost fat. So even though I had lost all that weight, I didn't start to get curvy until I started prioritizing my protein and I became a vegan. So this video is not about veganism. I'm not going to say you have to become a vegan to get rid of your hip dips. My point in saying that was, if you want more fat or more muscle in this area, you're going to have to eat more protein and more fat. But you're going to have to do it in the healthy manner. So you can't eat saturated fat. You have to stay away from highly processed food. You have to have a surplus of protein and a surplus of calories. So I eat very, very high protein, and I stay away from processed food, and I especially stay away from sugar. This is because when you eat excess sugar or excess carbs, which is usually in processed food, your body will gain more fat, just because in processed food and food that has excess sugar doesn't really have any nutritional benefit to it. So it allows you to accumulate fat faster, and if you want that kind of curvy effect, it's going to be a lot harder for you. You will you'll retain more water in your stomach area, and most likely if you were eating a lot of processed food and a lot of sugar, you will be able to gain weight in your stomach area. We have to keep our water retention down, and we have to cut off the sweets. So a high protein diet that minimizes excess sugar and that cuts out processed food with lower fat, and if you are eating fat, it has to be unsaturated fat, so like avocados, nuts, coconut oil, things like that. I do eat a lot of protein. I eat about 60 grams plus a day. So my next tip of advice for you to get rid of your hip dips, build muscle, and make yourself more curvy and more toned is to cut out sugar. Excess sugar is considered inflammation. It is inflammatory. If you eat it, your body does not have a good response to it. It's harder to regulate how much we want to eat. It literally can control our emotions. If we eat too much of it, it can make us sad. It can make us angry. Eating is entirely hormonal. I have an entire video on how eating is hormonal, how sugar affects our hormones. If you are constantly feeding your body is not going to know what to do. It's going to assume that you are overfeeding it and what you are doing to it is toxic. When we are working out or we're trying to be physically active, we need our body to be able to get into a state of ketosis. Eating properly along with intermittent fasting has allowed me to burn fat almost really efficiently without having to be on the ketogenic diet just because of the absence of sugar. Third thing that I did to get rid of my hip dips and tone out my body and make it more curvy was my exercise routine. I know you guys really want to know about my exercise routine and exactly what I did to lose my weight. I actually have an entire video showing you guys what my exercise routine is. The crazy thing about my transformation is that I didn't use any equipment to transform my body. I used intermittent fasting and what I was eating and the time I was eating at to transform my body. There are a lot of videos out on YouTube, especially about exercise routines, how you can get this body, how you can get that body. But if you are not taking care of yourself, if you're not complementing that with a restrictive lifestyle along with the restrictive diet, you're never going to get the results that you want. I was able to have a more curvier body without having to use weights. I focused on strength training, carb cycling, along with a strenuous exercise routine instead of having to lift weights. I was in a very, very bad car accident where I did dislocate my back and I dislocated my neck. So I was not able to lift weights at the time when I was transforming my body. I lost 100 pounds and I wanted to lose an extra 30 and round out my body more. I started lifting and I started doing this stuff, and I actually tore both of my hamstrings trying to do that just because I was not able to do it because of my previous injury. So the way that I get my body is by strength training. I work on fitness and endurance and stamina rather than muscle, and I feel like that's really important because you can target a certain muscle group with inside of your body. You can target your arms, you can target your abs, but why would you target one part of your body instead of transforming it entirely to make it complement each other so you can have the same amount of strength? So I did things like push-ups, pull-ups. Hiking was mostly the way I was able to round out my lower portion. Walking or running or swimming, you were doing cardio. And what cardio is, it is mostly what you do to burn fat. But if you mix cardio with some type of resistance, so if you mix cardio in with walking up an incline, you are building up your core, which targets fat. You are also pushing your body because of the resistance to build muscle. I'm burning fat with the cardio that I'm doing, but because of the level of resistance that I'm having within my lower portion, it allowed me to be able to burn fat simultaneously, building muscle as well. Next thing that I did to get rid of my hip dips was intermittent fasting, and in addition to that, exercising while intermittent fasting. When we fast, we have this process called cell autophagy that happens when we abstain from excess sugar and carbs, or it happens when we sleep because we are not eating, we are not drinking anything. I exercised in an intermittent fasted state, then I did cardio with resistance, then I prioritized my diet with protein and only ate one meal a day, and I didn't eat again until the next day. I still follow this routine every single day. And last but not least, the next thing that I do is carb cycling. Carb cycling is basically when you eat higher calories and or carbs on one day, and you significantly drop it one day. If you want to consider consider a routine that is synonymous to you carb cycling, you could think of it as alternate day fasting. When I wanted to build my muscle up, I would exercise harder, I would increase the resistance, but I would make sure I significantly stayed away from sugar and processed food and had a set amount of calories for the higher training days, whereas the days where I was trying to work on fat, I would focus more on intensity and duration and more on sweating out and activating that fat burning process. I do have an entire video on carb cycling and or how to break through a weight loss plateau. You have to carb cycle to be able to break through a weight loss plateau. You have to constantly up the strength, you have to constantly up the resistance, you have to constantly change your routine in a healthy way to be able to lose weight or to gain muscle. I didn't start working on building muscle or changing my body composition until after I lost my weight, and that is why I transitioned into being a vegan. With the help of intermittent fasting, exercise in a fasted state, and on top of being a vegan and prioritizing protein, that was the way I was able to round about my body and get rid of my hip dips, make myself curvier, lose fat, and build muscle. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you're interested in exactly what I eat as a vegan, make sure you go ahead and check out my second YouTube channel where I'm gonna have all my fitness routines there, where I'm gonna have all my meal ideas there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one.